All right, hello everybody. My name is Parisa. I'm the Senior Portfolio Manager supporting the AccuLase-GPA product line, which is basically the TDL analyzer for measuring H2S, CO2, and moisture. AccuLase is a tunable diode laser that basically has the capacity or capability of measuring the H2S, CO2, and moisture within the same unit, all of them, and by using only one single sample cell. AccuLase is Galvanic's 6th H2S platform and is the most sensitive H2S laser that is available in the market. There are 40 years of field-proven experience behind designing this analyzer for different applications, for example, natural gas market. Some of the main features of this analyzer are multi-parameter analysis that can be done with only one single unit. And this can go up to 3 species compared to 2, which typically at the moment we see 2 is more present in the market for the other models and brands available. AccuLase only uses one single cell for all 3 measurements, as I mentioned, which is again a great advantage to have because that means it has smaller footprint, most cost effective, and less maintenance as well. No scrubber is used in the system, so no consumables. Also fast measurement of all 3 components. It is a very sensitive method with a low LDL of 0.15 ppm, which is basically a lower detection limit as for the H2S as an example. It can also analyze multi-streams for all 3 components in the same unit again. Therefore, it is a fast return on investment. This one here is a quick list of some of the main applications for the AccuLase. For example, refineries, natural gas value chain, custody transfer, natural gas storage, biogas, and many more applications to measure H2S, CO2, moisture, depending on the application. It could be all of them, it could be a combination of a few, or it could be only one single measurement. This one here is a good snapshot showing the optics and sample cell design for the AccuLase. Again, it is based on the tunable diode laser absorption spectroscopy. It is in the near IR area of the electromagnetic spectrum. On the left side of this picture, you see the laser launcher, the cell windows, and the detector. They're all located. Underneath the cell is where the laser source and the heater and the pressure transducer as well as the vacuum pump are sitting. Now, in order to make the measurement, the specific wavelength of the light that is emitted by the laser is controlled by adjusting the current and the temperature of the laser emitter. The light basically goes through the laser launcher and gets focused on basically to pass through the cell window, and then all the way from there to the main part, which is the cell. So the cell in the AccuLase is a Harriet cell. There are 2 mirrors at the end of this cell, basically at both ends, which are used to increase the overall path length by reflecting the laser light multiple times back and forth. The more this light is reflected, the greater overall path length can be provided in this measurement. So in our case, for example, the length of the Harriet cell is 52.6 centimeter, and light goes back and forth 100 times, so overall 52.6 meters of the overall path length can be achieved. At the end, the light exits the cell, it just gets detected by the detector, and finally, the concentration can be calculated from the detector's analysis or the output on how much light basically is absorbed using the Beer-Lambert law. So that's how that works. Now this one here is another view of the cell, which shows where the mirrors are located. So you see clearly at both ends of this cell is where the mirrors are. So it's a simple and robust design to work with. So now for the analysis side, the gas is extracted by the sample probe. The gas gets filtered in case there is any particulates, any liquids, anything like that in the stream. So we get rid of that. And the pressure gets regulated. The sample passes through the cell. H2S absorbs the light. And from that absorbance, the analyzer calculates the concentration of the H2S. On the graph, you can see the absorption spectra for different species, including H2S, in the background of other gases, for example, CO2 or the moisture. Although interfering species might exist, as you can see here, our design and technology is able to provide a very accurate measurement because we can separate these lines without worrying about the matrix or the background effect of any other gases on what we are measuring. Now, how are we doing it? In the design of the AccuLase, we basically use a vacuum pump, as you see in this picture. At the top, we're keeping a partial vacuum pressure in the cell, and that enables us to isolate the line of our interest for the measurement without worrying about the interfering species. So another main advantage of using the vacuum pump is that we do not use any scrubber or any consumables in the AccuLase design. In order to get a better sensitivity for the analysis, we also use a fairly common feature, which is called the WMS, or the wavelength modulation spectroscopy. Using this technique, without going too far into details on how that works, the whole goal is to make sure we increase the signal to the noise ratio using this technique for the data processing. And in combination with vacuum pump as well as the Harriet cell design that we are using for the analyzer, we can finally provide a very low detection limit measurement with a great accuracy, great isolation for the lines of our interest. This one here is a nice summary showing the main measurements for the AccuLase. We can measure all three components of our interest in one single unit using only one single cell again. So for the H2S, we can measure 0 to 500 ppm with an LDL of 0.15 ppm. For the moisture, we can do 0 to 500 ppm with an LDL of 5 ppm. And for the CO2, 0 to 5% with an LDL of 500 ppm. So these are all within our standard accuracy. Again, it's important, and I keep emphasizing this all in one single cell, one unit. Some information here regarding the sample, basically general requirement, I should call them, that basically includes pressure, what is the temperature, what is the dew point, as you can see all those information here. Sample conditioning system is an option with this analyzer to make sure a nice, dry, and clean and particulate liquid-free sample goes to analyzer. The sample conditioning system includes switching valves, pressure regulators, and liquid membrane separator as the main components. There are other techniques, for example, using a Genie probe membrane that can be offered as well to insert the probe directly into the pipeline to separate the liquid and the particulates from the gas stream. The point of all of this, again, is just one single focus, is to make sure at the end of the day, we are getting a nice and clean and dry sample going to our analyzer, and we don't have to worry about the other issues that are not appropriate for analysis or not meeting our spec of a sample going to analysis site. This is some information, again, about the enclosure design, materials, dimensions, utilities required, as well as the certifications in the North America, as well as the international section for AccuLase basically offers a variety of user connections and IOs, as well as the communication options, such as the ones listed here. So for the 20 milliamp analog outputs, discrete inputs, as well as the dry contact relays for the concentration and fault alarms, Ethernet for the Modbus TCP/IP, Ethernet for the remote GUI, Modbus RS-485, RS-232. These are all part of what AccuLase can offer. The system is sealed from the environment for the corrosion protection and uses epoxy-coated components. Also, no trickle purges requirement, which is a great advantage to have on these units. This one here shows the laser assembly cell, heater, vacuum pumps, as well as the components for the sample conditioning system, such as the membrane filter, the pressure regulator. The design is really space-saving. It's simple and robust and to the point. Again, only one single sample cell for all of those analyses. And it's important to emphasize that because that's the differentiator in the market for this analyzer for a variety of applications. Also, same maintenance requirements for all of the units and models is used. So that makes it easy to catch up for those who are worried about the maintenance side. Again, as mentioned earlier, so with AccuLase, we have the option to do the multi-stream analysis as well, up to 4 streams. That offers a great ROI for applications that would like to take advantage of that feature, the multi-stream. The front panel of the control enclosure includes the color display, which provides information about the status of the analyzer, the concentration, cell temperature, cell pressure. In addition, a handheld keypad can be used to view or to edit settings as required by the operators. The AccuLase can also support, again, the remote access. So that's through the web-based GUI or web-based graphical user interface that allows the users to view the analyzer results, again, to configure their analyzer however they're interested. The GUI is accessible just using very simple internet browsers such as Google Chrome or Firefox. The GUI can operate on a local area network or simply just connecting directly the analyzer and the PC. So very easy to use. As mentioned earlier, the unit is certified for a variety of hazardous area classifications. This one here is the DIV2 unit. You can see that the sample conditioning system on the right side, as well as the Harry cell, the optics, cell components in the enclosure, size and design, very easy, very accessible to work with. If there's any replacement or anything, it's easy to work with. This one here, again, another AccuLase, but this one is a DIV1. So again, on the right side, you see the sample system, the optics and sample cell enclosure, everything is shown in this picture here. So you see a lot more details about where every part is located. On the maintenance side, that is very important. AccuLase is a very, very low maintenance analyzer. It does not require any consumables. We recommend monthly automated calibrations. The only maintenance for this unit is basically replacing the membrane filters on a quarterly basis if required, if there is any leak. The vacuum pump diaphragm annually, and that's it. Very low cost for the maintenance, very easy. Therefore, it's a huge advantage again in a long-term investment in this unit. We have a strong team for the on-site support. We can do all kinds of support such as startups, commissioning the unit, the trainings, any PMs that are required. We can also offer the in-house support or the factory support, including the FATs, any remote problem or troubleshooting, any service support, any question that somebody might have. We have a strong team in-house to cover that as well. AccuLase can offer multi-parameter measurements all in one single unit, one sample cell, versus using 2 or 3 cells for different measurements, and that's a great advantage. That also results in less requirement for the maintenance as well. Only one cell is involved in all these measurements. More complex design that you see in the market, and too complicated brands or the models basically, and not so user-friendly. So AccuLase is opposite. It's very simple. It saves space and it's easy to access as well. Using the vacuum pump, as I mentioned earlier, that enables a more accurate measurement with a lower LDL, and that's in combination with the Harry cell as well as the WMS. Measurements, not worried about having any sort of background interferences or the matrix effects. It's really immune to those. The measurement is direct and therefore, again, doesn't require consumables, scrubbers, and any source of other indirect measurements. Why AccuLase? What you see here is a table of a variety of solutions just in general that Galvanic can offer for different applications, as well as some measurements and capability points for each individual analyzer. We can cover a wide range of solutions that can be evaluated to offer the best solution, best analyzer, depending on the process application and the budget. In some areas, there might even be more than one solution we can offer. So we discuss them all with the clients and make sure that they are making an informed decision. So AccuLase is in your family in this whole platform on the H2S application measurements. What you see here, I can give you a variety of ranges. We are covering PPB, PPM, person level. So we have a solution for pretty much every application. We have a strong support team and the factory as well. So this here gives you a list of the sales team as well as on the platform side. I'll be more than happy to work closely with you on the applications and the opportunities as discussed. I would like to thank you all for listening to this presentation, and I look forward to working closely with you and discussing your future opportunities and applications with you further. Thank you and have a great day.